All right, so got a request from a viewer, Soul Shaker, wanted a update on where I'm at currently with the 7 Backcountry. Let me first talk maybe about factory loads. So let's see, the Barnes factory loads of these and the burgers, which are the 195s or something like that, straight out of the box in my particular rifle, my barrel. The Barnes 168 LRXs by far shoot the best right out of the box. They shot maybe around an inch group, so not for a custom chamber, custom rifle action, non-production rifle, not great. I will say today I pulled back 3 of the bullets longer and reset those to 50 thousandths off of my chamber's rifle lands. So where the bullet touches the rifling is the area that lands. There's videos out there that you can measure what that is, but ultimately this is the factory. And in my particular rifle, you can see the cantilever there. That's 50 thousandths difference. And I only did it with 3 rounds, but from an inch doing this with the factory loaded rounds resulted in about a 3/8 inch group. So more testing to come on that for those of you guys that don't reload. Take it for what it is. Again, this is my particular rifle. Harmonics may be different. Mine's a 16.5 inch M24. I pushed it towards the lands because the factory for my particular rifle is back about 105 thousandths. This is at 50 thousandths. So there's that. Where I'm at in the journey of reloads. As it relates to dies. So there was a bunch of short videos. I actually made a playlist the other day, but this is the Lee factory sizing die minus the expander and the decapping pin. I've taken that out. This is no longer decapping with this, is not in my process. Part of the reason is the decapping pin is more of a standard size. I'm waiting on small pins for this Dillon Primer universal decapping die. It takes the cases take a small pin. If you guys have the Lee Universal Decapper, FW Arms makes small machined pins for the Lee decapper. Sizing is fine on this. No problem with that. The other piece of sizing is I have the competition shell holder set, and to get the shoulder bump where I wanted it for my chamber, I'm at the plus 002 shell holder. So this gets the outside of my neck to a size. I have a 21st Century Arms expander die, and what I haven't decided yet is the final expander for the ID, but this one's 2830 for internal expander. I might also be testing the 2825. So the 2825, the 2825 would be the minimum to actually get consistent tension or engagement with this particular sizing die. So if you guys are going to order expanders, it's got to be the 2825 or the 2830. So that will get enough consistency of engagement for the ID of your case. For expanding the case neck, it is a little bit challenging. I can do it, but this die has got to be mostly all the way out, and the kind of quote unquote micro adjustment, or this needs to be most of the way up to not overextend the case or over bell the case mouth. And so that's going fine. Get this back out of the way here. The crimp die, no problem with this. Crimping back in, just make sure you don't over crimp the case mouse back in after you seat the bullet. And the Lee 7mm BC precision seater has been fine. So that's what I have going on for dies within that. Now, I just shot my first reloads today. Tried first the LRX 160 grains. I also have, which I'll probably try after my success today with back in the factory bullets out, is the 168 grain LRX. But again, so this is the 160 numbers, and this is Super Performance. You guys can see 59 grains, 59.1, 28, 23, 61 and a half. Now I chose a number because this isn't actually 160 is not even in the book. So I chose numbers in between the 155s and the 168s for my max load. But you can see with the 160s is around 29.47, so it's probably lower than that. So Super Performance, which the reloading information shows you, is not going to get you factory speeds. So I'm going to see if I can make the Super Performance shoot in the 168. I'm probably also going to go ahead and get some N560 to see if I can get the velocities up a little bit closer to the factory loads and whatever powder blend that they're using. So that's kind of where we're at right now. If you guys do have other questions as the journey goes along, this is just an update per request. So I'm going to say more to come. Oh, one last thing. You have to grease the heck out of the case sizing. Beyond that, not a big deal. So I run the ram up about halfway. As it starts to stick, I pull it out. I hit the grease one more time, and usually it'll send it home on the second or so push. But it takes a decent amount of case lube. I usually don't use Unique just because it's kind of more of a oily, it's a little bit harder to get off the brass, so you're going to want to tumble after you do the sizing and before you do the final loading to get all of this off. And so you're going to want to do an extra tumble after you're clean and after your sizing. So I've used Unique for a long time. It's good for these harder cases to size. So if you have any other questions, hit me up. I'll do my best to respond in the comments. Hope this helps.